I'm so proud of you, sweetheart.
She wore the same torn shoes for 3 years. Nobody at that school knew her real name. They just called her the poor girl. But on the last day of school, something landed on that football field that no one, not one single person, was ready for. I'm Auntie Rose, and before I tell you what happened that day, you need to understand who Amara Bell really was. Her name was Amara, 14 years old, quiet, always sitting alone in the back row. Her backpack was held together with safety pins. Her shoes had holes in the soles. Some days, her lunch was just a piece of bread wrapped in foil. The other students at Westbrook Academy had money, a lot of it, designer bags, luxury cars waiting in the parking lot every single afternoon. And Amara? She walked home, alone, every single day, rain or shine. They had a nickname for her, Scholarship Kid. They said it like it was something dirty, like she didn't deserve to be there. There was one girl in particular, Brianna Foster, and Brianna made it her mission every single day to remind Amara that she didn't belong. "Did you get that bag from a dumpster?" Brianna once said, loud enough for the entire cafeteria to hear. Everyone laughed. Amara didn't say a word. She just picked up her tray and sat by the window, alone, again, day after day, week after week. It never stopped. The whispers in the hallway, the group projects where nobody wanted her, the birthday parties she was never invited to. But here's what nobody at that school knew. 2 blocks away, out of sight from the school gates, a black car with tinted windows waited for her. Every single day, because Amara's father wasn't just anybody. His name was Julian Bell, founder of one of the largest logistics companies in the country. His face had been on the cover of Forbes 3 years in a row, but Amara had asked him for one thing, just one thing. "Please, Dad, don't let anyone know who I am." Because 2 years earlier, at her old school, the moment people found out who her father was, everything changed. Suddenly she had friends. Suddenly everyone wanted rides in her father's car. Suddenly everyone wanted to come to her house, to swim in her pool, to be seen with her at lunch. Nobody wanted her. They wanted what she had. So her father made a promise. He enrolled her under her mother's last name, and he kept her secret, even though it broke his heart every single day. Every night he'd ask the same question, "How was school today, sweetheart?" And every night she gave the same answer, "It was fine, Dad." She never told him about the whispers. She never told him about the empty seat beside her at lunch. She never told him about the note someone slipped into her locker. She didn't want him to worry. She didn't want him to feel like his success had cost her a normal childhood. But here's the thing about Julian Bell. He built an empire by noticing the smallest details, the kind of details other people overlook. And slowly, he started noticing things about his own daughter. The way she flinched every time her phone buzzed with a notification. The way she washed the same uniform every single night, even when it was already clean. The way she stopped humming in the car, something she used to do every single day without even realizing it. One evening, he sat across from her at the dinner table, and he said just 5 words. "Amara, tell me the truth." And she broke. Everything came out. 3 years of loneliness, 3 years of mockery, the note in her locker that told her to go back where she came from. Julian didn't yell. He didn't threaten to pull her out of school. He didn't reach for his phone to call the principal. He just held her hand and said something she would never forget. "You don't have to hide who you are to be loved, Amara, but you never have to prove your worth to people who never gave you a chance to see it. Let me handle this. Trust me." She had no idea what he meant by that. Not yet. Weeks passed. Nothing happened. School continued exactly as it always had. The whispers, the empty seat, the laughter behind her back that she pretended not to hear. Amara almost thought her father had forgotten, almost thought nothing would ever change, until the last day of school arrived. The football field was decorated with white chairs, banners, proud parents holding flowers and balloons, snapping photos of their graduating children. Brianna Foster and her friends were already talking about their summer trip to the Hamptons, laughing loud, completely unaware that anything was about to happen. Then everyone heard it, a deep hum, growing louder, coming from the sky. Heads turned upward, a black helicopter descended slowly onto the field, right beside the stage, kicking up a storm of wind that sent papers flying and gowns rippling. The entire crowd went silent. The door opened. And the man who stepped out was the same man whose face had been on every business magazine in the country just 2 months earlier, Julian Bell. He walked past the stunned teachers, past the whispering parents, straight to one particular graduate, his daughter. He knelt down in front of her, holding a single white rose, and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "I couldn't let my daughter graduate without seeing it myself. I'm so proud of you, Amara, not for what you have, for who you've become, despite everything." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out. Someone dropped their cap. Brianna's face went completely pale. The poor girl she had mocked for 3 years was the daughter of one of the wealthiest men in the entire country. But here is the part that nobody expected. Amara didn't gloat. She didn't humiliate Brianna back, even though she had every single reason to. Instead, she walked to the microphone near the stage, and she asked the principal if she could say a few words. "I spent 3 years being called the poor girl at this school," she said, her voice shaking. "I let you believe I was poor because I wanted to know what it felt like to be valued for who I am, not what I own." She looked out at the crowd, at every face that had once looked away from her. "I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I'm telling you this because somewhere in this school, right now, there's another kid eating lunch alone, someone else being made to feel small. You don't know their story either, so the next time you want to laugh at someone's shoes, don't. You have no idea what they're carrying or who they'll become." The entire field erupted into applause. Even some of Brianna's own friends looked at her differently after that. Weeks later, Amara did something nobody expected, quietly, without her name attached to it. She started a scholarship program at Westbrook Academy for students who felt invisible, overlooked, out of place, just like she once did. When a reporter later asked Julian Bell why he let his daughter live such an ordinary, difficult life, when he could have given her anything in the world, he simply said, "I didn't raise her to be rich. I raised her to be real. Money can disappear overnight. Character can't." And that is the story of Amara Bell, the girl everyone called poor, who turned out to be richer than anyone in that school could have ever imagined, not because of her father's money, but because of who she chose to become, despite it. If this story touched you the way it touched me, don't scroll past without hitting that like button. Comment one word that describes how this story made you feel. And if you believe kindness can change someone's entire life, subscribe to Voice of Auntie Rose because we have so many more stories like this one waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.